Is it ready, Esteban?
No. But we are streaming now.
We are? Anybody get robbed lately?
At the gas station.
You got robbed at the gas station?
Yeah, the prices.
Yesterday I saw this bum riding in a nice car. And this bum also on a truck. But he normally hang out over there at the post office and he hide the truck down the street. And so yesterday I saw him in a very nice car. I'm like, hey, Mr. Bum, how are you? He said, hey, man, I'm doing fine. I'm like, yeah. He said, yeah. I said, why? Because I love Jesus. And then I said, nice car. He said, thank you. I bought this for my grandson, but he didn't want it. So I took it back and bought him a different one. And I'm thinking, how could a bum be buying all that?
Tax-free money.
And so he made buku money just going to different locations begging. Isn't that amazing? Maybe I had the wrong job. And he looked like a bum, but he's not really a bum. Y'all give money to the bums? No. Nobody does? No? You do? You do? You love people like you. Good morning. Welcome to church. I'm Jesse Peterson. You can get involved by going to our YouTube chat line, and I do appreciate it. So how everybody here again? Y'all doing fine? Nice. Let me just update you on Cheryl. I told you about Cheryl last week. Cheryl is a lady that was a member of the church, and she expired last week. They found her in the house, in the bathroom on the floor in a coma. And so, but she expired. So I talked to her brother, he called me this week, and they're gonna have her funeral in March. Isn't that a long time?
Yeah.
I'm like, what the? But in March, they are saying that they're backed up and doing funerals and things. They don't have enough space or something down. So that's what's going on with her. Any questions about anything before I get rolling? No questions. Well, we can take up the offering and go home. We're supposed to be a fellowship, not for me to come teach. All right? Yes, sir.
So I see a lot of people like, that say that they're in the body of Christ, like the normal Christian church. They talk about like worshiping. So what does it mean to worship God?
To appreciate him, when you reflect on your life, you appreciate it.
So it's not the whole like
It's not
playing
all that
music,
No, it's not
going like
that at
this
all.
and
That's just a
do
bunch
it like
of,
you mean it.
Yeah, that's just a bunch of emotions. It has nothing to do with God. It feels like it does, but it doesn't at all. Have you ever done that?
I have. Yeah.
I can see you running up and down the aisle.
The funny thing is I was always like the more reserved one, and people would be like, "Oh, you're not really getting into it. You need to like raise your hand. You need to like really get, you know what I mean?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "No, I don't feel like I need to do that."
Yeah. Sometimes when you're insecure, it's hard to sit there while everybody else is doing it, and you're just sitting there.
Yeah.
A lot of people can't do that because they're insecure. Amazing. Anybody else? Yes, sir.
I had a talk with my roommate last night, and we were talking about donations and how do you know how to give a donation, and that you brought up, how do you know what to give and how much and to who? We were talking about scams and things like that.
You give what you can afford to give, and you do it in secret. Don't give it and you can't pay your bills. And thinking that the Lord gonna give you some more money next week. All right? Give from your heart. And wherever you're being helped, that's where you should give. All right? Is this your first time here?
No, my second time.
Oh, okay. No, do it that way. Anybody else? Yes, sir.
Yeah, I just want to share this. I feel like since I've been coming here, I'm becoming, how you say, like, love is not emotion. I'm becoming more emotionless.
Yeah.
And it's like, I guess I can see other people see it and they start to distance from me. Like they're still expecting me to like overreact, and people asking me how I'm doing about, my brother's situation. And it's like, yes, it's weird. It's like, I guess they're just still worldly,
Yeah.
It's kind of difficult just like talking to people and they expect you to be all like overly excited or up and down, and you're just calm.
I noticed that the world is very emotional now, and they push it a lot in the media. And when you're emotional like that, you can lie to you, and you'll believe lies. I noticed that when they talk about slavery and Jim Crow and white supremacy and all that, and the more emotional you are, the more they find new words to make it even worse. Because now they're talking about systemic racism and all that, right? And when I hear these words about slavery and all that, I'm thinking, what world did they come from? Because it wasn't all like what they were saying at all. Even in the movies, when you flip through the TV, the movies are so dramatic, make me want to hurt myself. And it's like, but if you're emotional, you will believe that stuff. But if you're not, you'll see how dumb it is. That's why you gotta overcome emotions. Once you believe in God, return to the Father, you become dispassionate. And you're right, they can't be around you unless you're reacting the way they are. It's not comfortable around you. But you gotta pay attention to what's happening. I saw these two women at the Capitol building crying, talking about their experience. One of their names is Cortez or something. And then another one was another liberal woman. And they were just boo-hooing. And then you find out later they weren't even at the building. I'm like, why was I crying with you if you weren't there? No, I'm playing. But it's all lies. And if you're not aware, they'll draw you in and use you any kind of way they want to. It's just all lies. That's why we have to be careful with words, too. They use all kinds of words. And we can't act like they do. We can't use those same words. Otherwise, Christianity has been forgotten about for the most part. Because now the Christians sound like the children of the lie. They use the same words. You got to stop doing it or you'll be caught up. Really. And they cry, and the men are crying more than the women. And so you got to be in the world but not of it. Really. Otherwise, you get caught up with it. You got to overcome the words. And anyone who is born again of God will overcome the words. You will naturally overcome them. And then they're like, oh, you're not emotional. That's right. Don't fall for it. It's a game that's being played. It really, really is a game. You got to be aware. And don't let no one make you, just be aware of what's happening. All right? You got to overcome these. It's a mess out there. It's like crazy out there. But they need the light. We got to shine the light. We got to be honest. We got to be examples for them. All right? Anybody else? Yes, sir.
Do you believe that a homosexual can faithfully serve God?
Can faithfully serve God if he return to the Father, because God cares about the heart. He want to change the heart from evil to hate. Then he'll make a home in you, and there's nothing you cannot overcome, because the love of God is all powerful, everything. You can't change it unless the heart is changed. But absolutely. Get rid of that hate, and all things are possible. Did you know that? It's so amazing to know that once you're born of God, all things are possible. Really. You can tell a mountain to be gone, and it'll go, because the power of God working through you. But you must be born again. You just can't read the Bible and hoop and holler and pretend like you're born again. We can't change ourselves. There's nothing in life that we can do to make ourselves better. Only God can do it. But you got to be born again of Him. Did you go and deal with your mother?
Deal with her how?
By forgiving her.
No.
You did not? This your first time here?
Yes, sir.
Oh, what's your name?
Daniel.
Daniel?
Yes, sir.
Welcome, Daniel. There's another Daniel that worked for us. He's Mexican. Are you Mexican? Yep. Oh. Colombia?
Yeah, Colombian.
Same thing.
Same thing.
Have you heard me say you must go and forgive?
This is my first time hearing you.
Oh,
My
how did
brother
you hear about us?
recommends you. My brother recommends you guys.
I'm sorry?
My brother recommends it.
Oh, right on. And did your brother tell you you need to, do you have anger?
I don't think so.
Oh, you have no anger? You can tell you're lying. You have no anger?
Everybody gets angry once in a while.
Do you
Well, like,
have anger?
I would say yes.
You do?
Maybe. I don't know. What's the right answer?
You don't know? What?
I get angry over things, but am I as angry as a person? No.
You never get angry as a person, you say?
Well, I mean, like, am I an angry person, like constantly angry?
Right.
No. But are there things that can, get me angry? Yeah, of course.
Did you know that any male that has anger is a woman? Did your brother tell you that?
No.
Why you didn't tell him? Why didn't you tell him?
I think I have, but maybe I haven't.
He just doesn't remember.
I say lots of things to him.
Oh, I see.
He might not remember.
Oh, okay.
But no, I don't think I worded it exactly like that, so maybe being more simple about it would be better.
Oh, if you had said that, did you know you acting like a woman? He would have heard it.
He does hear me say that a lot.
Oh, he does? Any questions for me? No?
No.
Oh, okay. Right here in front of you. I saw your hand, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to have a lot of anger, and you helped me get over it. And I used to smoke pot for about 40 years, and you helped me get over that.
You smoked pot for 40 years?
Yeah, it's been
What
over
the-
a year. I've been off of the pot.
Speaking
thanks
to the
you.
mic for me.
Thanks to you. So,
And why were you smoking it for so long?
it was just a habit that I started when I was young, and I just loved it. I loved just get away from the world, I guess,
Yeah.
and be in my own world.
That's amazing. Was it hard to get off it?
No, it
Oh,
went
yeah.
cold turkey, and I never craved it or nothing.
Right on.
Yeah.
Is this your first time here?
Second,
Second time.
yeah.
How's everything going for you now?
It's amazing.
In what
Really,
way?
I'm not just saying that because I had so much anger when I came here before. Me and her were at our worst point.
That's your
And-
wife?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
and so that's why I gave up pot. Finally, I said, I'm going crazy. I got to at least try stopping pot.
Right on.
That's the one thing I kind of disagreed with you on, the only thing. And so I said, I got to try it, and it was taken away from me. And so I grew up with a stepfather, and so I just heard last week you said returning to the Father was returning to your earthly father. And so he's passed over 20 years now, and we weren't all that close.
Yeah.
So how do I return to my
Where's
earthly
your real father?
He's passed. My
Oh,
stepfather.
your real father?
Yeah, they both passed. But
Oh, I see.
My stepfather raised me.
You return by getting to know yourself and realize that would cause you to realize that he couldn't help himself, because you would see that of yourself you could do nothing, that whatever you've been into, you couldn't help it. And it will help you to understand them, and that will cause you to forgive him. God will cause it to happen. But keep your eyes on yourself,
Okay,
all right?
okay.
Are you doing the silent prayer?
Yes.
You stay every day?
No,
Suffer.
not as much as I should. Yeah.
Why not every day?
My mind just races when I do it.
That's why you should do it.
I know. I heard, I listen, I watch you every day. But, yeah.
But you should do the silent prayer because eventually, you know, God said that we should pray without ceasing, right? Eventually you would naturally get to that point where you're always in prayer without even trying. But he got to renew your mind first. But you have to do the silent prayer. Satan doesn't want you to do it because he wants to control you, but God wants to guide you. So you have to do it every day, morning and night. Do you drink water every day?
Absolutely, yeah.
So why can't you do the prayer?
You know, it's just, I just think I'd rather watch TV or something, you know, stupid like that.
But that's Satan.
know, yeah.
He's telling you that,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah,
But do it. Stay with it.
very good.
All right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You ready?
And is this your first time here?
No, we came to marriage counseling a couple of years ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
you did?
Yes, we did.
Amazing. And how are things going?
Good. I wanted to thank you.
Oh, good. Are you doing the silent prayer now?
Yes, I am in the morning.
At night? Just the morning?
In the morning.
Stay with it.
Okay.
Because one thing you don't realize, there's so much that we don't know about ourselves. And the more you stay with the prayer, the more you discover about yourself. And it's a mess.
I know.
Did you know we are a mess? Really. And so stay with the prayer because that anger, it runs deep. It really, really does because it is evil. But God will take it away.
Okay. I just had a question.
Yes.
My son, he had a baby out of wedlock.
He had a what?
A baby out of wedlock.
Is he white?
Yeah, he's a Howley.
He's a what?
Howley.
Italian?
Howley.
That's white in Hawaii, they call, yeah.
Oh.
We're from Hawaii.
Oh. What?
He's
No.
a Howley.
Nice. And so he had a baby out of wedlock.
Yes.
How
and
old is he?
He's 28 now.
Oh, okay.
But I'm just wondering, she cheated on him about 5 years ago, and I forgave her for that.
You did?
Yeah.
You forgave her? Why did you have to forgive her? Did she cheat on you?
No, but
Why did you have to forgive her?
just because I was so angry inside.
Why?
Just because we caught her in the act, me and my husband.
And so why did that make you angry?
I just felt betrayed. She was in my son's truck.
But
Yeah.
she wasn't dating you, though.
I know, but it happened again after the baby was born.
Right.
And she ended up stealing from us.
Do they live with you?
No, they don't.
Oh,
They
okay.
live in Washington.
Oh, okay.
And lying and saying the guy she ran off with kidnapped her. And anyways, a long story. And I'm just wondering how to forgive again. They're back together.
They're back together? The way you forgive is to stay out of the way. It's not your business at all. It's
Right.
between the two of them. They are adults, and they got to work out their own life. There's nothing you can do. Don't be calling him, oh,
I don't.
well, but don't hold anything against the young lady. She got to work those issues out, and that's between your son and her, and not you at all. You shouldn't be feeling a thing about it because
Right.
it has nothing to do with you.
Yeah, you're right.
Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Get out of the way. What the?
I know, it's just going to be awkward when I go up there to visit or something.
And why?
You know, to see the grandbaby.
Why do you have to go see them?
I just want to see the baby.
Tell them to send you a picture or do it on Skype.
Yeah.
Really, you really need to stay out of the way and let them work that out.
Yeah, I want them to work it out.
But you need to get out of the way, though. He's not a baby,
I know.
and he's got to grow up. And sometimes hard times will make you grow up.
It did make him grow up.
So stay out of. Did your husband tell you to stay out of it?
Not really.
Bird.
I mean, he said he's
Why do
already
you tell her to
forgiven
stay-
him.
What's the what now?
He's already forgiven her, and I just don't want to. I just don't want that inside of me to feel that way. You know.
Right. But why do you tell your wife to stay out of it? It's not her business.
Well, I've told her that she's crazy. She's probably just crazy, and that's why she did this to him.
She's crazy?
Yeah, 'cause
Your wife?
the girlfriend, his girlfriend.
No, why did you tell your wife to stay out of it?
Why didn't I tell her to stay out of it?
Yeah,
Well, she
that's their
sent,
business.
the girl sent her a text trying to apologize, a long text, and so I told her she should reply, actually, and she didn't know what to say or how to do it. So I just feel like we should accept her back into our family.
You should not.
We should, yeah.
I mean, but I don't get it. It's not you guys' business.
We're getting
You
too
shouldn't be
involved.
feeling any way about her at all. Everybody that get into a relationship is their relationship, and they have to work things out. When I was growing up, when I was dating, I never thought of bringing my parents into my relationships. What the?
Well, he hardly ever calls. He never even returns calls, so.
Who?
it's our son.
He doesn't call you guys?
No.
Good. I don't blame him.
Yeah, we probably, they should work it out amongst themselves. I agree.
Right.
Yeah,
So since he's not calling, he's not visiting, right?
no.
Why don't you guys stay away?
We are.
We're down here and he's way up there. We're gonna probably
So
stay
you're
down
not going
here.
up there before you
I don't
leave?
think we're going back up there this
Yeah,
summer.
stay
no.
away.
Yeah. That's what we're thinking. Do we drive back up there this summer, or we're in an RV, so we know what to do?
Go
Probably just
to
stay down here.
Arizona.
Yeah,
We
that's what
are.
we're thinking.
Don't everybody go to Arizona in an RV?
Yeah,
Go to Arizona.
yeah.
I'm thinking that everybody go to Arizona RV. So why don't you guys go and live your life and let them live their lives?
Yeah.
And be at peace with each other and just live now and stay out of it. And don't, no, oh, I want to go see the baby. If they want you to see the baby, they'll bring the baby, let you see it, or invite you. They
Yeah.
didn't invite you up there, right?
No, I'm
What?
not bothered about that much, but just that feeling, I just want to forgive her, you know?
Yeah, but you're wrong for hating her.
You know.
That's what the problem is. That's why you have that feeling, because you're guilty of judging. We don't have a right to judge anyone. All of us are the same, going through the same hell until we overcome that. So apologize to her for, I'm sorry for hating you. Send her a note,
Okay.
and then go and live your life.
I just wish them the best.
Speaking to the mic.
I just wish them the best, you know,
Yeah, you're supposed to
for the
wish them the best.
grandbaby.
That's right.
It's the first picture where she's happy in 3 years.
Yeah, but
seen.
stay out of it, though.
I will.
No, stay out of it. Stay away from the man's house. Don't call him. Let him figure this out.
So she should apologize to her for
If
for
she
ha-
hates, yeah,
having
if she
judgment
judges her.
against her.
Because she has no right to judge her.
Yeah.
Your son is doing what he wants to do. All right?
That's,
So
yeah.
keep your wife.
That's a different take. Like, you know, we were thinking she should apologize to us, which she did in that
She didn't do
text.
anything to you guys.
Right, she did to him, yeah.
Well, she stole from us.
But she should. Y'all all
She
in the
stole the
way.
battery out of our RV.
So what?
She stole our battery out of the RV.
Good. If you had not been up there, she would not have stolen it.
We weren't up there at the time.
But really, though, in all honesty, y'all need to move on. It's not your business. You have no bit of hating the girl. Your son is allowing this to happen. He's an adult. He needs to grow up, and you guys need to stay away from it. Unless they ask you a question, have no answers. All right?
Yeah, and thank you. He has
you.
grown a lot from this and from watching you.
Yeah, he needs to grow up. He has
Yeah,
to go
he
through a
did.
hard time.
Yeah,
All right? Stay out of it. I've never in my whole life seen so many parents involved in their children's relationships. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Time to move on. Yeah.
Are you able to make her shut up?
Her?
She
I
said
don't
no.
think so.
Oh, man, what a beta.
That's what we were here about a year and a half ago, and you asked her if I was alpha or beta, and she just right away said beta, and I was like, oh boy, here we go.
Yeah.
Thanks.
She need an
I'm
alpha
working on
male,
that.
not a beta male.
Yeah, I'm working on that.
Women need men who are strong, really. They need that.
I was all emotional. I'd hold a grudge against her, and I had all this anger and all that's
So you were acting
Gone,
just like
yeah.
your wife.
absolutely, yeah. Worse,
Yeah.
yeah, worse.
Did you go and forgive your mother?
Yes,
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well, do the silent prayer. Stay on the road in your RV and leave them alone.
all right.
Don't call them or anything. If they want to talk to you, let them call you. All right?
Yeah,
Okay.
very good.
Amazing. Any other questions?
No, thank you.
All right.
Thanks for helping us.
Yeah, stay away from that.
Oh, I will.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All
You've
right.
helped us a lot, our son too.
Right on.
Thank you.
Stay with it. Did I see a hand here somewhere? No? Any other questions? All right.
I'm sorry, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
I always found this complicated. How do you know if you are judging or not?
When you get angry, you're judging.
Okay.
Like she's angry at her son's daughter.
Okay.
She's judging her.
Okay. So just when you're
But when you're not angry, you're not judging. You're
Okay.
disagreeing. You have a
Okay.
right to discern.
Okay.
But if that emotion get involved, you're judging.
okay.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I always found that I always felt I was being honest with people, but I was never angry, so I don't know if I was judging or not.
Right.
When I wasn't angry, I'd speak the truth, or I'd be honest about, or I'd give my opinion, but I don't know if I was judging or not.
Yeah. If you're not getting angry, you're not judging.
Okay.
And if you don't hold things against people,
Okay.
all right?
All right.
Don't hold things against people. Our life is a mess. Everybody messed up, really messed up. But if you go and forgive, return to the Father, He'll work it out. He'll work it all out.
Okay.
All right? Yes, ma'am. I'm glad you guys asked some questions. We're fellowshipping. Yes.
So a lot of young ladies grow up without a father, such as myself, and your ministry speaks a lot to the male, rebuilding the man.
Yeah.
What would you say to the woman, scripture-based, doesn't have to be scripture-based, but what would you say to the woman who did not have a man, a strong man, who's rebuilt himself, of course, to speak into her life? She has selected the wrong men. She doesn't have self-love. She sometimes would rather stay in a relationship that is not healthy for her versus just moving on and doing what God says. What would you say to that woman?
So you say that, what would I say to a woman that's in a bad relationship?
Or just self-love, period. Not just the relationship is more of an example, but just loving herself and not just, and because you speak so much to men and what you talk about anger of men and go back and forgive their mom and all that, but what would you say to the woman?
The same thing. You must go and forgive, and once you forgive, God will forgive you, and it'll start to change. And just same thing for women. I mean, for men, it's for women as well. You must forgive. In order to enter into the kingdom of heaven, you must forgive. And also, there is no such thing as self-love. You can't love yourself. You love yourself?
Yes.
You love yourself?
Yes.
Oh, Lord.
Well, I was thinking about that recently about whether I love myself more or I love God more because, like you said, I was almost in a conflict with that statement.
Yeah.
Right.
How do you love yourself? Where do you get the love from to love yourself with?
I was thinking about it because sometimes for myself personally, I thought so much that I put into a relationship. This is my daughter, and how I'm up here visiting my daughter in L.A. And sometimes you just do a lot.
Did she invite you?
I invited her to. Well, actually, I didn't. Actually, you came here on your own. I came on my own. She recently moved here.
How come, why do mamas go uninvited? What the?
Oh, Lord. Oh, well, she thought that because I didn't have a Valentine, she'd come and be my Valentine.
Well, actually,
Are you
boo,
serious?
Actually, that wasn't the reason. Actually,
What was it
her
about
birthday, her birthday was last week, and so I was gonna
What-
come, and
so
so I
what
didn't want
now?
to come on your birthday weekend, so I came the
My
weekend after.
birthday was the week prior, and
And
she,
did you invite her for your birthday?
she tried to invite herself. No.
Wow. What made you invite yourself? What made you do that?
I wanted to check on her. I wanted to make
Did
sure
she
she
need
see, she just
checking
moved
on?
here.
Preface, I'm an only child.
So what?
Preface, I'm an only child.
And by you checking on her, how is that going to help her?
I just wanted to make sure she's okay. I wanted to see this environment where she's living at. This is my second visit. So
Are you the police? What good would that do her by you coming and checking on the environment? See what isn't she like an adult?
she is.
And so who check on you? Your mama?
My mom actually does, but she doesn't come visit me. She does not come visit me though. But
Oh, good. So Satan was telling you, oh, go check her environment. It's her birthday. Satan would give you all these reasons, right, to go to come out here, right? And did you notice she didn't invite you out?
true.
Did Satan tell you, well, she has not invited you, why are you going?
I did check with her a couple of times though, and let her know. Like I asked her if it's okay, and she said it was.
Next time say, no, Mom, don't come. This has to stop. You have to let them live. They have to go through hard times. You're in the way. You're not supposed to be in their way. You raised them to 18. Your job is done. That makes sense?
It does.
And you treat her like she's retarded. It seems like you don't. It seems as though you don't trust her.
I do trust her.
Well, then stay at home. And don't let Satan give you all these reasons. Oh, it's her birthday. It's Valentine's Day. All that is a setup. You know what I mean? I don't even think we know when Jesus' birthday. He didn't want his mother to know. He didn't want his mother to come over. Really, let your kid, she's an adult now, right? She'll be fine. If she needs you, she'll call you. Fathers don't do that. Some weak beta fathers do. But it's very, very, very rare that you see the father run up and down the road behind the adult children. You know what I mean? They don't even say, I love you. But you know they do. So can you leave her alone?
I
Come
can. I
sit
don't
by
have
this
any more
lady.
trips planned.
So what?
I don't have any more trips planned.
She said, thank the Lord. So have you gone and forgiven your mother?
I have. I believe I have.
Have you gone to her?
I have not. Not verbally.
Well, so you haven't forgiven her then. Why haven't you done it? You're busy right up and down the road behind your daughter. Why have you? You should work on your life. It's so amazing. So why have you gone to? Are you a Christian?
Yes.
So why have you gone to your mother and forgiven her?
Because I believe my mom would look at me crazy if I said that.
That's all right. You forgive her, and God will forgive you, and let her look as crazy as you want. That makes sense?
It does.
You should do it. I highly recommend. Then maybe you'll back off your daughter. All right? But the same principle for men applies to women too. If you have not forgiven and you want to enter into the kingdom of heaven, you must go and forgive. How about your father?
Have I forgiven my father? I feel like I never, even though my father wasn't in my life, I I never held him, just didn't
Yeah.
have didn't feel any way about it.
That's right.
And he's passed, so.
Kids don't hate their fathers. They love their father, yearn for their father. It's the mother that they hate. And the mother makes you think it's the father, but it's the mother's. But, so have you listened to my show at all?
I have. I listened to a
And-
lot of your shows.
And what do you think about it?
I like it. It's very good because I believe that's the foundation of all of the community is to rebuild the man, and then everything else is going to fall in line.
Yeah, it will. But if you don't have a man, you should forgive anyway. And if somebody, some woman that's in a bad relationship now, and have you talked to her about it?
I haven't personally talked to her.
Why not? Is he your friend?
No, just someone I observed.
Oh, I see. And your question is, how do you help them?
Right, because I'm just saying kind of across the board that women, because I listen to your show, so you talk about women who have grown up without a father and the effect, of course, it can have and all that.
Yeah.
So kind of just across the board, what you speak a lot to men specifically, and you mention women
Yeah.
occasionally, so.
I would tell her, if she want to hear, she need to overcome her anger. And because these bad relationships, they want to be in them. Because they get a high, an ego high of controlling and being controlled. They don't want to get out of them. So if you see people suffering in bad relationship, let them suffer. Because sometimes that'll wake them up. Some people have hard heads, and they need to suffer in order to wake up. So there's nothing you can do about it. You know what I mean? I would recommend you, get busy and work on your life and leave everybody else alone. That makes sense?
It does.
Do you hate hearing that?
No,
Did you know you were too busy with other people's life?
I'm actually not, but I'm actually not, but I used to be with my daughter. I was very hands-on because she was the only child. But when she went to college and different things, I definitely let go.
Your daughter's not agreeing with that. No, in all sense, seriously, let go. Really let go. When I was growing up, it wasn't like this. I moved out here at 18. I have not looked back. And my parents never asked me, what are you going through? And I was going through hell. Pure hell at times. And they never asked me, how you doing? Can I come out to visit? Or any of that. You know what I mean? And you have to let them grow up, really. And that's what love is. If you love her, you leave her alone. She know how to call you if she needs you, especially borrow some money.
She's still on our payroll.
See that?
A little bit, just a little bit.
Take
Just a
her.
little for myself. She
Say
pretty
what
much
now?
supports herself, but we still.
Right on. But you need to be working on your life and leave her life alone. So when are you going back to Texas?
To Tennessee.
Oh, Tennessee.
Tomorrow.
Oh, the daughter's like, oh, thank God. Yeah, just wish her well and let her go through what she got to go through. There's nothing you can do about it, so stop playing God with her. All right? Are you doing the silent prayer?
I'm not too familiar with the silent prayer. I've
I
heard you
have
say
a-
it, but I wasn't.
I have a silent prayer on my YouTube channel. I want you to start doing it. You still could do your little hoop and holler. Praise the Lord, hallelujah. And then when you're tired of doing it, sit down and calm down. And let God guide you. And when you get back, tell your mother how the cow ate the cabbage. Meaning, forgive your mother. And just start working on your life, and it'll become amazing for you. All right? You disagree with any of that?
I don't.
Oh, okay. Any other question about it?
I don't.
So you glad I helped get your mother off you today? She's like, yes. Okay.
You said something about you said you can't love yourself.
Right.
Can you explain more about that?
But we don't have love. But what happens is when we forgive, God love us, right? His love will fulfill everything. You won't hate yourself or love yourself. You will just be. You will have no opinion of yourself.
Okay.
People who are in love with themselves are on an ego trip.
Yeah, and I don't mean it by that, like, because I think my definition of, like, self-love is, like, just doing acts for yourself, like, actionable things, like, oh, you know, getting up, eating something healthy, or working out and stuff like that's self-love to me. Do you think that's like considered self-love?
Well,
or,
once
like,
you overcome that anger, you're going to naturally take care of yourself.
okay,
Your relationship with everything would change for the good.
yeah,
You're going to treat yourself well in the same way you would treat others. You would treat everybody the same.
okay.
But you can't love yourself because you don't have love. We don't have love. Where will we get it from? You know what I'm saying? But you should take care of yourself. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
But don't hate yourself either.
Right.
All right? And I know that the experts are teaching, not my experts, but the fake ones are teaching to love yourself. And you try hard to love yourself and you can't. Because as soon as you start loving yourself, something happens, now you hate yourself.
Yeah, they recommend that a lot, like, because I'm single and whatnot, and so they're
Yeah.
always like, oh, the first step to, you know, if you can't find the right guy, you don't love yourself, and it's like, what does that even mean?
That's right.
Yeah.
Next time they tell you that, get your money back and leave.
Right, I don't even pay them. They just be trying to give me advice for free.
Yeah, they make your life hard because now people are trying to love themselves. Well, the expert said to love yourself, right? And so you're trying to love yourself, and every time you try, you fall back to hate. Now you hate yourself. Now you want to jump off a bridge. We don't have any love, really. You can't love yourself. Just relax and live your life. All right?
Yeah.
Yes. Right here. And then I want to get to the biblical question.
On
Yeah.
the self-love topic, I've been thinking about this self-love thing because before I was always going to therapist. My sister is a therapy. She always encouraged self-love. And I've always thought, because it's like a contradictory thing. They always said, oh, we're not perfect. We're never going to be perfect, right? They always said that, the media, like
Right.
people.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, they're saying, oh, love yourself. So it's like, okay, how can I love myself if we're innately imperfect? Like the love that I will give myself will be innately imperfect. So the only love I can get perfect is from God. And the only confidence I can really get is when I'm confident that God is with me. Not because I'm confident I can do it, it's because
Right.
I'm confident that God is with me
Yeah.
and He's guiding me, even if I do it right or wrong. You know what I mean? So I was just always thinking that, and I never had like the words to express it to people. But yeah, that was amazing that you
Do
spoke
they ever
about
tell
it.
you how to love yourself?
My sister always says that because she's a psychologist.
I'm sorry, how does she say, what does she say to love
She
yourself?
always says to love when I'm angry, like love my anger, because she's a holistic psychologist. Yeah,
Boy.
she's a holistic, and she's all about you need to love your shadow, you need to love your anger, you need to take care of your anger, you need to understand it, you need to like be angry and let it be angry and embrace it and
Amazing.
all these things. And I'm like, okay, I don't know, that doesn't work for me, but if it works for you, I guess like that's for you.
Some of the dumbest people in the world have degrees. They pay to go to school to get a piece of paper to say I'm dumb.
But
Yeah.
what
You know,
I
some-
think
They have no common sense at all.
this is
Y'all got to come back to God, and He will guide your way. You will see that. You will see that of yourself you could do nothing, and of yourself you are nothing. And when you know that, you stop judging yourself. You stop trying to change yourself. You would just let go and let God, really, and it would be amazing. So many people in hospital, mentally ill, trying to change themselves. You cannot change yourself, really. So stop trying. Let go and let God. He will change it for you.
But what
Isn't that
I think,
amazing?
what I think what she says also about it is, I think they see it about loving your anger is don't judging it. Like they try to like say, hey, don't judge when you're angry, but they're perverting it in another way and putting it like, oh,
But the
love
reason
it.
you're angry is
you know?
because you're judging.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like a mental thing. It's like a loop, and I cannot even explain it to her. She has to see it for herself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Absolutely.
get that a lot. The self-love thing. Is really
Nice.
good.
And so, are you? How things going for you?
Actually pretty good. I
What's-
trip.
what's
Sometimes
wrong
I
now?
trip, but but I just get
You
out of
trip?
myself. Yeah, I tend to like believe in my thoughts sometimes, but it's less and less now. It's just going way less.
How does your husband deal with it when you're tripping? How does he deal with you?
He deals really good, actually. He.
She what? What do you say? What did you say? What?
He's joking. No, he's more patient with me.
Okay.
He's more, and I realize that patience is not trying to change somebody. It's just dealing with them and doing whatever is in front of you, not expecting somebody to change. And I think he's doing that now more and more. Before he wasn't, but now we both understand that concept. And I try to be patient with myself too, not try to like force myself to change, but just be like, hey, chill out. Like the next time, just take it one day at a time, kind of thing. So yeah, it's pretty amazing. I'm really blessed right now.
Okay. Yeah. Another thing I want to tell the guys: when you change, and you will change, you won't be a beta male. You stop worshiping the woman. She won't be your God. Your wife gonna go nuts. Really. And she's going to be angry. She's going to say, you don't love me. You don't love me. You're not emotional. And she doesn't realize that's her ego acting out because it's not being catered to. And she was like, you don't love me. I'm going home to mama. And she's going to have a fit, but you just have to let her have it. Don't hate her. Let her go through it, and eventually they'll get past it. Some will. I've seen so many guys going through this right now. And the women pretend like, oh, I want him to be a man. And they really do, but they hate it when you're a man. And then oh, she does that to you? He did this to me. Does she do that to you?
She doesn't hate me, but I've changed. And as I've changed, she's not liked certain things. But as I've changed and become more alpha, she has started to kind of fall in line, in a sense, with my beliefs. And she kind of recognizes herself believing it, too. But some of the things she does hate, but not as much.
When you say she doesn't like some of your things, like what, for example?
Some of the things I repeat from you.
You sound like Jesse. Even though it's right. You sound like Jesse. Yeah. And now you're afraid to say it.
I'm not afraid to say it.
Good.
I say it, and I try to explain it over and over again. And you've brought logic into my life. I was emotional, and you've brought a lot of logic in. And I think it was last radio session that we had, I think on Friday, where you talked about sin and how adultery is not a sin. Someone called in about adultery and said it's not a sin, it's a sin of the heart and of the spirit. And we had a pretty good conversation about that because there's a common belief that he said it was a sin. So
it's you do that because you have the hatred in the heart, and you're looking for love in all the wrong places. But if you didn't have that hatred, you wouldn't do it.
Right.
So you say you try to explain it to her over and over again, whatever the situation might be?
I try to connect the logic in it that you've connected.
And the more you try, the less you receive it?
I think the more she's received it, I mean, she's here today. If about 3 months ago, if I tried to get her to come, she would have never came with me.
He hate women.
The message that you project seems very misogynist to a lot of women.
Yeah.
Because they feel like they're lesser than, and that's probably the biggest problem I have trying to explain to her is that you're not lesser than. You're equal, but you're not equal, right? We all fit in a position.
What do you mean she's equal but not equal?
We all have a position to play or a role to play in the family, and we all need to find our place.
Yeah.
And so we all have an equal portion
Right.
to play in the family, and that's kind of what I mean.
And does she understand it at the time you're trying to explain it? Don't be scared.
Not always. Not
Yeah.
always.
She does understand it, but she pretend not to understand it.
Right. Right.
So,
Well, the
So
biggest.
she can frustrate you to take back control.
She never frustrates me. Not
Good.
anymore.
But
Not
that's what
anymore.
they try. When they act like they don't understand it, they understand.
Right.
So how are you dealing with all this right now?
I'm dealing with it okay. I've become, more alpha, and I fight with her because when we first got together, she was all about Peace Corps and I was in the Marines, and I was
That's right.
it was a complete opposite.
Yeah.
But as I got out and as I started listening to you and started absorbing the message, I've become less emotional,
Right.
and that less emotional has helped guide her and
Nice.
guide myself to love God. And
Right on.
it's hard. I think the hardest message is to explain that unless you love your father, earthly father, you can't love God.
Right.
So that's the hardest message I have.
How long you been married?
9 years. It would just hit 9 years.
Oh, good. Nice.
No
You have
kids though yet.
What are you waiting on?
I want them.
But what are you waiting for?
I've tried.
Oh, that's funny.
I think it was my beta-ness that just felt like I wanted to marry my mother, like you kind of say it. But now that I've become alpha, we've actually both started to realize that we both want kids,
Right on.
and it hasn't happened yet, but it's in the works.
All right, well, get busy.
Yes, sir.
And so when you were giving him a hard time, what are you thinking at the time when you pretend not to understand what he's saying? You like the way I worded that?
There is a difference than pretending not to understand.
Yeah.
It's more the fact of the verbiage, I guess, is the most difficult to swallow sometimes.
Yeah.
So the great thing about being married to this guy is that he can rearrange the verbiage for someone that is emotional, like myself, to kind of understand what the core is and what it's supposed to be. So that's why I'm more here today, and I'm more willing and open to hear messages than when I was before, because it did sound very egotistical, in my opinion, when I would listen or he would play them for us. But now that he's not as much of, as you guys call them, beta males, it actually has strengthened our relationship because he doesn't get so emotional, and then I don't thrive on that emotion. And
Right.
he's definitely helped me with certain situations where I do get angry and frustrated and emotional, and I can't see the big picture, and he just steps and he's like, here's some logic.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, when you put it that way, I can't be as angry, so I guess I gotta step back.
Give me an example, if you can, of him changing the words to help you understand.
I guess the best one was, we are not equal. There is a order in life, and so I had to take my strong old feminist beliefs out of the situation, because then, I wasn't actually listening to the conversation, I was just waiting for the rebuttal. So I guess it would be when he would put in that everyone has their own job, and if you don't have that, the puzzle really doesn't work together. And
So he would say, we are not equal, right? And when he said that, you didn't like it.
No, I did not.
And then, so he would change it to, well, everybody have their role in life. And you would like that.
To a point, there was more to the conversation because I was raised in a very strong Christian family, and so as there was like God the Father, and then the Father, and then the mother and child, and so when he kind of brought it back to what I grew up as a child, I kind of understood there is
Right.
an order, just like the food chain or whatever. We're not at the very top, and we're not equal to everything. So
Do
in
you
my
believe
position,
that you're equal to him?
still working on that. I'm not going to lie.
You believe that you are?
I believe that he is the man of the household and that he has his own. So I can't answer that with a yes or a no at this very moment, but I'm working on it.
You're working
But-
on what?
Working on giving, because I know that noticed that you love yes or no answers, not around the question
Right.
answers. So I can't give you one
I'm
of
black
those.
and slow, so I need yes and no's. They help me to understand what you're thinking. And so, do you believe you're equal to him, to a man?
No,
Oh, good.
we are different in many ways.
All right. And you know that you're not equal to a man, right?
I thought I already answered that question.
But I want that to sink in.
Oh, okay, sorry. I was just making sure. I'm like, did I not answer it?
Women are not equal to men.
No, and men aren't equal to women. We are completely different.
Right. So he doesn't have to reword it then, right?
I think the biggest thing I had to reword was the man over father over a man, man over woman, woman over child. She did not like that. That was the hardest thing to explain, I think.
You having fun right now?
Oh, so much.
Men are not equal to God, and women are not equal to men.
Mm-hmm.
Men are over women.
Women, and the women are over the children
Right.
until they grow up and become adults, and then we have to let
And
them
leave
be.
them alone there, yeah.
Okay.
So do you fully accept that now, that your husband you're not equal to your husband? It's not 50-50?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. All right, don't beat him up when you get in the car. Any questions for me? Anything you disagree with or want me to explain?
Nope, this is just the first time. Just put my toes in, see how it goes.
Right on. You are, have you gone and forgiven your mother?
No,
Why not?
because this is a new concept.
Oh, I see. But in being a strong Christian, they didn't teach you that you must forgive before you enter into the kingdom?
Forgiving, yes, but physically going to them and saying that I forgive you for all this stuff
Yeah.
is definitely something that, as our household, we didn't do. It was something that we did with our Heavenly Father and ourselves, so that we worked on ourselves and saying, I forgive that person, so which then I forgive my anger towards that person.
Did God say do it that way, or that's what you were taught?
And that's what I was taught.
Yeah. You see that doesn't work, right?
No.
Right. So will you go and forgive your mother? It's going to be hard because she's a strong Christian woman. You're going to catch hell. Right?
More from her than my father, most likely.
Yeah. But I highly recommend you do it, especially since you want to start having a family, because you are just like your mother, and he's just like your father. And if you don't do it, you're going to screw up the kids. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Have you noticed that you're just like your mother?
In many ways, yes.
Do you want to be like her?
In some certain ways, yeah.
Like what, for example?
My mom's a very caring and giving person.
No, she's not.
You don't even know her.
Your mother is a very controlling person.
I don't agree with that one. She's not very controlling. She doesn't force her way into my life. I'm the one that actually contacts her mostly.
And you know why? Because she's already forced her way in when you were a child. And you don't realize that she's controlling you like that. Go and forgive her, you see. Just say, hey, I'm sorry for hating you, for whatever she's done. Controlling your father, too weak to deal with her because he's a beta. But go and forgive your mother. God said before you enter into the kingdom, you must go and forgive. And then he'll draw you in, he'll take away her identity and give you back yourself. And yourself is much better than being like her. Do you disagree with that, any of that?
I have no comments on that.
Yeah, amazing. Will you smoke on it?
don't
Not
smoke.
really smoke, but.
I'm like, no.
I know. Will you
I've
think
used my
about
job
it?
for that.
Yeah. Will you think about it?
Sure.
Yeah, especially
Always.
before you start having a family.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot.
Because you will destroy your children. You won't be able to help it.
Oh, yeah, I know. That's one of the reasons why we haven't had children yet.
That's one of the reasons why you haven't?
Yeah, I don't want to screw them up. Therapy's
Right.
expensive.
Well, go tonight and forgive your mother, and then tomorrow morning you can make a baby. He's like, yeah. All right? Because the only reason for being married is to have kids. Otherwise, there's no need to be married. Right?
Sure.
I'm sorry?
Sure.
You're like, what the? Any questions or disagreements?
No questions?
All right. Be patient with it, man. It's going to take about 50 years, but you'll be fine. Then you'll die.
Well, I think that since I was so beta so long, it is taking a little bit because I started to become alpha, and I did not lead, and that's the problem in the relationship, and that's why we haven't had kids yet. But I've noticed a change between both of us as I've changed. It's really impacted her.
Did you tell her to go forgive her mother before?
Yes, I have. I've told her to go forgive her father, her mother. There's a lot of things that we all need to work on, but those are the two things that
That's
are
the primary.
Right.
You got to overcome the anger, and then God can help you.
Right.
Yeah. Amazing. Don't let her get you angry.
Definitely not.
Okay.
I haven't been angry with her
Good.
since I've kind of forgiven my mother and my father.
Right on.
I mean, I didn't realize I was angry at my mother just because she died. And that's the weirdest part,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I felt like I was alone with my father. And even though, I still love my father and everything, I had to forgive him as well.
Yeah. How old were you when your mother expired?
About 12 years old.
Oh, nice. You don't want mama's love.
No.
Mama's love would kill you. Did y'all know that? Mama's love will kill you. Look at your life. It's all come from mama's love. It's the Father's love that comes from God. All right? That's what you want, and you'll be fine. Good, man. Did I see your hair? Okay. What do you think about it? Hold on, 1 minute, I'll come with you. What do you think about all this?
I just new here.
You new? This your first time?
Yes.
Oh, welcome. What's your name?
Nudie,
And how did you find out about us?
my friend here. He
Your
brought
friend?
me. Yes.
That's your friend?
Yes.
Are you sure? That's your boyfriend or just friends?
It's my friend.
Just friend?
Yes.
Any questions for me about anything? Because this is all new to you, right?
Yes, that's my first time here.
Anything had you heard about me before now, what we do?
I think I have seen you somewhere, maybe
okay.
on YouTube. I like to listen to Christians
Someone down?
speech, Christians church stuff,
Oh, yeah.
but I don't remember what I said.
Anything you disagree with that you've heard this morning?
And it's not a lot of the things.
I'm sorry?
I am agreeing on some
Speak
of
into the mic
things.
for me. Okay.
I am agreeing on some of the things that people have been talking and disagreeing others.
What do you disagree about?
I think people has to find peace in their heart in order to bring life in this world. And sometimes God not give children to some people is because they're not ready yet.
Sometimes God does what?
No, don't give children to some people. Do not have babies because they're not ready for it yet.
I don't understand what you're saying.
Oh.
What did you say?
God doesn't give people children sometimes because they're not ready for it yet.
God does?
God doesn't.
God doesn't give people children that they're not ready for yet? Why do you say that?
I say that because sometimes humans not ready for or give a good life to children, or children grow up strong, and sometimes we are not ready for bring life in this world.
That's why you shouldn't get married until you're ready to have children.
Yes.
And then you can have all the babies.
Yes, my English is this much little.
I know. Where are you from?
South America.
Oh, are you black?
Yes. I am.
Why are you not speaking English?
Because I was
No, I'm
born in
playing.
Brazil and I grew up in Colombia.
Yeah, I know, I'm playing.
And I don't understand English as well as you do, but I try my best.
You're doing a
here.
nice job. I just can't understand it.
Interesting.
Do you believe women are equal to men?
No.
Oh, good. See there? Is she black?
Women cannot be equal to men.
Nice.
Thank you.
I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
Any other question or disagreement or anything?
No.
She sounds so nice, huh? I bet it's different at home. No. No. No, I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
All right. Anybody else? Oh, right here. You said you had a question. Okay. Then I want to get to the biblical question. I'm glad you're here, right?
So a woman can't be an alpha at all.
She can. If
she
she let the
can?
anger go, well, she'll be an alpha woman.
An alpha woman.
And she would love that position.
Okay.
Because she would be in her natural state of order.
Okay, because my parents are divorced. My father, he's more of a beta, and my mother she acts more like an alpha. Like she is very like detached. She's like, yeah, you're 18, leave, bye.
Right on.
Yeah, but my father is the exact opposite. Like,
Yeah.
because he was abandoned by his father when he was 16, and he's always afraid. Feels he has to be in contact with his kids at all time. So I was just like wondering.
man.
Yeah, I was just wondering like if a woman can be an
You got to
alpha too.
overcome his mother. That's what it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
She passed away sadly, but he also has to overcome his father too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Amazing. The biblical question is, what's the biblical question? Oh, how do we hold people responsible for their actions when there is no free will? How do we hold people responsible for their actions when there is no free will? Isn't that a good question? Right here, want to tell me. You're dying to tell me.
I think you just have to have you have to know that they know not what they do.
And so how do you hold them responsible?
By maybe showing them a different point of view. I want to say correcting them. I'm not sure if that's proper.
So what now?
I want to say you correct them, but I think maybe just show them why what they did is wrong and what other options or what they could have done instead.
Okay. Levi, how you? Oh, did you go and forgive your mother yet?
No, she just got over the corona, so I'm waiting for.
Can you do it by FaceTime or something?
No, she doesn't do FaceTime. She's
Oh, she
Mexican.
Oh.
So they don't have FaceTime.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Okay. Levi, how do you hold people responsible for what they do if there is no free will?
I think we have like a choice in life to either serve Satan or serve God. And so in that aspect, I think you're held responsible when you make that conscious choice to either let God work through you or if you're going to let your ego and Satan work through you. And in doing so, I think then once that person makes the decision, then they're responsible for allowing that spirit to overcome them, and the actions they make after that, they're responsible for.
Okay. The young lady behind you want to answer it. She's like, no. How do you hold people responsible for their actions if there is no free will? And see, I love this. This is what God, He wants you to think about these things. Don't worry about what you're going to eat, what you're going to wear, where you're going to sleep, who your friends are, how much money you have. It's these things that bring life for you. All right? So, yes.
I think dialogue is important.
Okay. And you hold them responsible by dialoguing with them?
Well, kind of what he was saying, like talk about how what they could have done better, maybe.
How about if they stole from you, from your RV?
Call the police.
Call the police?
I don't know.
Is this your first time here?
Yes.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
What's your name?
Julie.
Julie, welcome. How did you find out about us?
Through my fiance, who's in the restroom.
Oh, thanks for telling the world. Now when you come out the bathroom, we're all going to be looking, knowing he went to the bathroom. Any questions about anything or disagreement?
Well, I do have a question. I'm
Yeah.
adopted, and I feel like, if anything, I should be asking my parents for forgiveness because the way I acted as a teenager. I don't think I need to forgive them.
And so they didn't do anything wrong?
I don't feel that they did. I
Okay.
feel like they did the best that they could.
They did. That's why we have to forgive, because they do the best that they could do.
So what do you feel, how do you explain if I feel I need to ask them for forgiveness for my actions?
You don't need to ask them for forgiveness because human beings don't forgive. You apologize to them for hating them or acting out of anger. I was wrong.
Okay.
Right? And then if you know you've done something wrong and you feel guilty about it and you need to apologize, hey, I was wrong for what I did. And God will forgive you. All right?
Okay.
Any
That
other
makes
questions or disagreements? I'm not Black Lives Matter, so you can disagree.
I'm not yet. I'm just soaking everything in.
Oh, okay. Amazing. So do you have anger?
Actually, I don't.
You have no anger.
No, but sometimes I have depression.
You have depression at times?
At times.
And what causes depression?
Just things going on in the world. I know I can't control the things that go on in the world.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's hard not to get affected by it.
So sometimes you see what's happening in the world and it causes you to become depressed?
Yes.
And what is it about that would cause you to become depressed?
I think because I'm an emotional person and I feel things more than others.
Okay. And so when you see the world the way it is, does it make you angry or make you cry?
It makes me cry.
And you feel sorry for the world?
Yes.
And why?
Because I feel like it's not in a good place.
It's not. It's messed up. It's really messed up. That's why this year we're bringing love back into the world, bringing Christianity back. But why cry for them, though? How is that going to help you or the world?
Just getting my emotions out.
Okay. And when you tell your friend you're crying for the world, what does he say?
I think he understands, like, in a way, where I'm coming from.
Oh, he just said, oh, I understand.
Or he accepts where I'm coming from.
Right. Do you want to cry for the world?
Sometimes, yes.
Is that going to help the world?
No.
I'll rest my case. So why do you want to cry if it's not going to help?
Because they're my emotions, and
Yeah.
that's.
Do you think, you believe in God?
I think so.
You're
I
not
believe
sure?
in a higher power.
I'm sorry?
I believe in a higher power.
Is that God or somebody else?
It could be God.
It might be someone else?
Or the universe. I always either say God or the universe.
Oh, okay. When you're suffering, do you think God is crying about it?
No.
Right, so why should you cry?
Because I'm human.
You're
and
human?
I'm not perfect.
You're greater than God?
No, I said I'm human and I'm not perfect.
But let me just say this to you. Don't resent what you see happening in the world. Don't feel sorry for anyone. We are not God, so we don't have a right to feel sorry for anyone. And that feeling sorry for them is causing depression. That's what's bringing it on because you're objecting it. You're making a decision. Oh, why don't they do better? I'm better than them. I'm better than that, right? You're playing God. It's enough to see it, but don't worry about it. Let people suffer. They need it. And God will protect you. All right?
Okay.
And if you want to overcome that emotion, you have to overcome the anger. And then you can, it's impossible to be depressed without anger. If you don't have anger, you would never feel that way. Depression comes from anger.
Yeah, isn't it like the opposite? Depression is anger and anger is depression?
Yeah,
Something of that?
depression is a child of anger. Because anyone who has anger is evil. They're playing God. And Satan is your daddy. You're making a decision. We cannot make decisions in life. We just have to observe life and see the right way to go. So you're making the decision. When you see how awful the world is, you're making a decision, you're feeling sorry for it, and you're really hurting yourself. That makes sense?
Yes, yeah, it
Yeah,
does.
it's enough to speak up, but don't hate. And don't feel sorry for anyone, including yourself.
Okay, that's something to definitely work on.
Yeah. Are you doing, did your friend tell you about the silent prayer?
He's mentioned it.
Have you given it a try yet?
No, I haven't.
Give it a try and see what you think.
Okay, I
All right?
will.
Yeah, you got to overcome that. That's not a nice way to live. God is dispassionate. He's not a passionate God. So when you hear Oprah talk about how passionate she is, she's lying. That's not from God. All right?
Okay.
Passion will destroy you. Passion is hatred. It's not love. There's no love in passion. It's all emotional. And it comes from anger.
So basically, don't have emotions?
Right. But you can't help it until you overcome that fallen state that you're in. You got to overcome the anger so you can come out of your imagination. And then God will build your house from within on solid ground. And then when there's a time to cry, you'll cry and you'll let it pass. When there's time to laugh, you'll let it pass. You'll start being normal.
Okay.
All right? You don't want that passion stuff, that emotional stuff. It screws up everything, including your life.
Yeah.
No one with passion is happy. What?
I'm just absorbing everything.
Oh, okay. Any disagreement with that?
Not yet. I mean, I'm just, like I said, absorbing everything, and I'll
Right on.
do the
Well, I'm
silent
glad you're
prayer.
here. Do the silent prayer and see what you think.
Okay.
And stop feeling sorry for the world. God sent his only son to save the world, but most will not follow him. A few will, but most will not, and they need to suffer. And if they suffer and die, it's on them. We can't save anyone. We should be honest, but don't judge. All right?
Okay.
All
That's
right.
something to work.
Any
definitely
other
work on.
question or anything?
No.
What the?
Thanks for putting me on the spot. No, just
Oh.
kidding.
It's called fellowship. We're all on the spot. All right? Well, I'm glad you're here.
Thank you. I'm glad I'm here too.
Right on. Yeah, give it to. Yeah. So, Sam, you're Mexican car wash boy. How do you hold people responsible for their action when there is no free will?
In a society perspective, you let the law of the land like handle it. So if someone commits a crime, put them in jail, let them do their time. But from a spiritual or personal side, you just let them suffer. You're honest with them. You tell them the truth. If they don't want to hear it and they get angry about it, then you just walk away and let them go through what they have to go through, because we're not God. We're not going to change somebody. And that's the best way to hold them accountable.
100%. Don't try to get revenge. If they stole from you or something like that, you need to put them in jail. Put them in jail. And let the law contain them, because they're not guided by the law of the heart. And if you have a problem with them, go and forgive them and go your way and be done with it. Because Everybody has to pay for whatever they do in life. That'll come. It'll be according to God. We cannot punish people. All right? The people that I talk to that are trying to get revenge and punish someone, it's just, they're suffering for it. They really are suffering. Because trying to punish someone is hateful, it's evil. Revenge is God, not ours. We're supposed to love even our enemy, meaning don't hate. Now, if they commit a crime and it's on the law book, they go to jail and they will, punish them in jail. But we can't punish one another. We shouldn't even try, don't even think of doing it, because it will come back on you and destroy you. I wish you to hear some of these stories I'm hearing from different people who have tried that. It's not enough. We are made to love, not to hate. And anyone who has not returned to the Father, because we're all born in sin, you're of hate. You have no love. But once you forgive, you'll be of love, and it's amazing. And be patient, because you will overcome that fallen state. You'll grow from it and grow from it and grow from it, and you'll look around one day and you won't believe your life. You'll be like, what the? And so he's right about that. You got to forgive. We've got to forgive one another. You can't punish enough. Yes. Do y'all understand that? That's why I tell the guys all the time, listen to this, ladies, you'll love this one. When your woman hit you, you know how women hit men all the time, but if a man hit a woman, he got to go to jail. As soon as your woman hit you, call the cops. Come now. Put her in jail. I don't care if you had 845 kids at home. Put her in jail so she'll see you're not going to put up with that. Throw away the key. And take her name off your bank account. But don't hate. Don't hate. Don't get angry. Be patient. All right? Then they will see. Don't hate. Don't hate. Yes, sir.
What if a child molester gets
Speaking to the thing there.
a child molester gets away with his crime and doesn't do any time in jail,
Wish
not
him
held
well.
responsible for it? Then how do you forgive that?
By not hating him. He can't help it.
And must you forgive that?
Yeah. You can't, we are not allowed to hate, period, because hatred is of Satan. And as this young man was saying, of ourselves, we can do nothing. We can't help it because they're in a fallen state. Forgive him, deal with him, but don't hate him. And you'll see the right way to do it.
That just means don't hate him.
But there may be actions to take, but if you have hatred, you won't see the right action to take. But if you don't have that hate, you can see how to deal with it. Don't plan it. Have a wait-and-see attitude. You know what I mean? In life, we can't plan life. We have to live life, discover it. We can't say, oh, if a child molester raped my daughter, I'm going to kill him. That's right. You're setting yourself up. And really, you're setting yourself up. And it might not work out well for you because you've already planned it. Have a wait-and-see attitude.
And what if they're still around? Do you have to go to forgive? Or you just do it in your heart?
If you need to go and forgive, go and forgive. Hey, I'm sorry for hating you for that. And you'll be free because the body heals, but the soul does not heal until you come back to love. You need love, and that's why you still have the pain of it.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
just a difficult one to swallow, take.
Speaking to the mic.
That's just a difficult one to accept, that you would have to forgive someone for
God
that.
said we have to love our enemies. You can't hate. But the beauty about it, once you overcome the anger, you automatically have love. There is no hate in you. No anger. He takes it all away, and you wouldn't be able to hate the child molester or anyone else. You just won't be able to because it's not your nature anymore. It's that old nature is the nature of Satan. Now that you overcome that, you have the nature of God, and his nature is love. So you wouldn't be able to hate even if you tried.
All right. And if you don't believe everything in the
Speak into
Bible,
the mic.
if you don't believe
Why you
everything,
keep holding the mic like this? What the?
To be reborn, do you have to believe everything in the Bible? Like Jesus
No.
was born of a Virgin Mary, for instance. That's hard to believe for me. Just
You
for
don't believe
instance.
Jesus was born of a Virgin Mary?
I don't. I find that
What
hard
the-
to believe.
who are you?
What do you think of that? Is that
If
crazy
you
or
can't
what?
believe that, you have nothing. Do you believe Jesus came?
Yes.
And how did he get here? Or you
Just-
just think Mary wasn't a virgin?
Right, right.
You believe he came through Mary,
Yes,
but you don't believe Mary was a virgin.
right.
Why not? What
I
the?
don't, it's just hard to
Did
believe
you know
that.
something about her? You think Mary was a slut? I never heard this before.
Well,
So you
that's-
believe Jesus came through Mary, and you believe God made that possible, right?
Yes,
But you know, when God said Mary is a virgin, you don't believe that.
no.
Why not?
It's just unbelievable, and every
Have,
time
have you ever met a virgin?
Have I met a virgin? Yeah, I've met a virgin, yeah.
And did you believe she was a virgin when she told you, I'm a virgin?
Yeah, but she wasn't pregnant.
So what?
She wasn't pregnant.
So you don't, oh, but she got pregnant by God.
Yeah, that's hard to believe. And, you know, every
Hold your-
preacher
put your mic up here.
that I ask
What?
how you're reborn, you have to believe these certain things.
Oh, you're
know.
reborn by realizing you're playing God. But God took part of his nature, himself, and put it into Mary. And that's how Jesus was created. Just like when you come back to God, when he breathed life into you, when you were created, he breathed life, you became a living being. He put a part of his soul into you. And so when you come back to him, you'll be his son again. You will have his nature. You had it before your mother traumatized you, then you took on Satan's nature, but he just put a part of himself inside of you. And that's what he did with Mary. Now you believe it?
I understand what you're saying, yeah. but-
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's what it's meant by that.
Yeah, that's what it meant by that.
Okay.
And you're going to see once you overcome this anger that his nature is in you too. And that's what Christ meant when he said, my Father and I are one. God's nature dwelt in him, and his nature did all the work for him. It wasn't Christ doing it himself, God working through him. And he's inside of you as well. And you're not a virgin. Uh-huh.
I'm not, yeah. I was going
Right.
to say I'm not perfect, but I'm trying to be, like you said.
Yeah,
you
you're
can
on your
be.
way.
I'm on my
But
way.
no, he just put his nature into Mary and created Christ. All right?
Yeah. It's hard to understand that from every preacher that I've asked how you're reborn, you know, but you explain it well.
Yeah, man. You'll see it for yourself too. Stay with the silent prayer. Stay away from your adult son. Go live your life and just be aware. You'll see for yourself. It'll be amazing. All right?
All right.
Okay. Good question though. I ain't never heard no one didn't believe. You think Mary was a slut? I never heard that. Let me take this young lady first and then you. Yes, ma'am. You better repent. I'm telling you.
Hi, Jesse.
I never heard anyone thinking that about Jesus' mama. Okay, hi.
The only thing that I was going to ask is, just to add that when Mary got impregnated by the Holy Spirit, it was like some sort of embrace that she, that's defined as. So yeah, that's all I wanted to add
Oh,
to
okay.
that.
Are you a Catholic? Are you a Christian or a Catholic?
Well, I was kind of raised Catholic.
Oh, no wonder. Yeah, okay. All right. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot. Okay.
All right, so real fast, I love this story in the Bible of Cain and Abel. So it has to do with forgiveness and also holding someone responsible. So as mostly everybody should know, is the story of Cain and Abel, where Cain killed Abel, and then people wanted to hold Cain responsible by killing Cain because, you know, he committed a crime, right? But God was like, no, whoever kills Cain, is going to get 7 times the punishment.
Yeah.
So, because God knows that our hearts are evil. If He didn't set that law of the heart and be like, hey, if you judge somebody for killing somebody, you're going to get 7 times the punishment. He set that because He knows we will self-destruct. We will just go around killing everybody that ever hurt us. So I love that story that has to do with forgiveness and holding people responsible.
That's amazing.
Yep.
Nice. Yes, ma'am. Let me take you first, so there, and then I come. And then we got to wind it down here.
Thank you. Thank you. I just wanted to add that what comes to me in hearing everybody talk is really about knowing thyself.
Know thyself.
When we do look at how to hold other people accountable, really we should be looking within ourselves.
Yep.
And then also, something that also came to me is when you were talking about the forgiveness or apology. At first it was like, I want them to forgive me. But when you do that, you don't have eyes on yourself. But when
Right.
you apologize, you have eyes on yourself. And when you forgive, you have eyes on yourself. And you know thyself. And that's how you get to know thyself, is to see what's going on inside.
I've been doing this for 31 years now. There's nothing like knowing yourself. You can't put your eyes on anyone else. And yet you'll see the world around you, but you won't judge it. You're discerning, but you won't hate it, right? And you can't get enough of knowing yourself, really. It just makes you better in life. It gives you love. It makes you stronger. It opens your eyes in ways that I can't even imagine. But you gotta know yourself. And if someone could get you upset or get you to overreact, it's not that person's fault. It's your fault. It's you, not them. But the ego wants you to blame them. You made me angry. You made me afraid. No. You're in a fallen state and you don't know yourself. You got to take responsibility for your own action and leave other folks alone. Don't hate yourself, but don't deny yourself. See that you're wrong and you'll be fine. And you will get better. I'm telling you. It will change for the good. It really will, because we are a spirit created in the image of God. And He will change it. Just like Satan. You're either of Satan or you're of God. You're not of both. You're one or the other. And anyone who has any anger at all, iota of anger, one little bit of anger, Satan is your daddy. And I don't care how many Bibles you read, how you hoop and holler, Satan your daddy. You got to overcome that spirit, and he will cause that to happen. All right? The lady in the pink.
Hi. You kind of answered my question, but just to, say it anyway, I want to know, how exactly do you deal with those moments when, like, someone just disrespects you greatly? Like, what exactly do you do? Because when that happens to me, like, a lot of things be running through my mind. Like, do I retaliate? Do I just accept it? Do I act up? Do I fight back? Like, what should I do exactly in those moments?
Esteban, I want to tell you.
I mean, I wouldn't do anything and kind of just wait and see what really happened, because you can get into your imagination and kind of make up ideas of what happened. So like, if you kind of relax and just let everything unfold, then you're going to see like why they did it and why you reacted the way you did, and then you'll know what to do. And then from then, if it happens again, I guess you have more experience, so you can handle it differently the next time as well.
And Levi, Dad, want to just add to that, just summarize it all.
What do I want to add to it to summarize it? Oh, yeah, I'm not sure what I want to add to summarize that, to be honest with you. I was just going to say, like that in that moment, if you don't make a judgment on it, then there is no overreaction, right? There's no reason to be upset unless you first judge what that person said as something. Then you're going to have the reaction to it. I was thinking it's kind of like depression. Like, you can't get to depression without first judging, because you have to judge it as bad first before you ever get there. And it's the same with your reaction to people. If you can stop yourself from, so like what she said, know yourself, so that in that moment you don't judge it. You're just like, whatever,
Yeah.
I think.
Did you have your hand for that? Yes.
Yeah, Jesse, I like to think that anger is a punishment we give ourselves because somebody else made a mistake.
Well, it didn't come from you, it came from your mother. And so you grew up with it because your father too beta to tell you, forgive mama, she can't help it. So if he had told you that early in life, you wouldn't have that anger. So we don't give it to ourselves. We're born of what they call sin. We're born into a crazy family. And they're out of control, so they traumatize you. It's not your own. All right? One thing I wanted to say about that. I forgot what I was going to say. But, I know. First of all, if someone can hurt you, what did you say they can?
Like someone just disrespects you.
If someone disrespect you. If someone disrespect you and you overreact, it makes you mad, be glad that they did it so you can see that that's still it's an ego inside of you. It's all ego. Because if you didn't feel a certain way about yourself or saw yourself in a certain way, they could never disrespect you. They'll make it a fool of themselves. If I thought about that, I wouldn't be up here today. I wouldn't be doing it. I've been called every name in the book and then some, and some names I never heard of. I'm like, what the? But I don't care. I welcome that because I want to make sure I don't have an ego going on here. And if I react to it, it's because I'm playing God with myself. I have this impression of myself, and I'm getting mad at the person that's attacking. No, be happy if that happened. You have to feel the same way about that you feel about life when you're feeling good, seems like all is well, everybody love you, you're walking on a cloud, and you're all happy. Oh, I love God, right? And as soon as someone disrespects you, now you're down here hating. You have to have the same attitude that you have when you're feeling good. So if someone hurting your ego by disrespecting you, fine. Be glad it's happening and keep your eye on yourself and don't hate them back for it and you'll overcome it.
Yeah, even if it's like a physical thing that they might like push or shove you or take something that you like really wanted or had your heart like set on or anything like that.
What?
Like even if it's like a physical thing that they might do to disrespect you.
I mean,
I'm cool with like words, they don't really affect me, but
okay.
like when it's physical, like that's a different story.
No, it's a different action for that. You have to protect yourself.
Okay.
But don't get angry. Never get angry, but you'll see what to do. Protect yourself if it's physical.
Okay.
I was about to knock a woman out at the I was going to knock this woman out at the store. These two black women like, he need to put a mask on. He doesn't have his mask. These two black women, right, with afros. And so the Mexican lady came up, sir, you should, can you put your mask on? Oh, yeah, no problem. And then I said, tell those two bitches to stay out of my business. I said it real loud, like a black person. And they were mad, they were cursing and running up and down the aisle. And I said, look, I'm not one of those little beta millennial men. You hit me, you going down. And they backed off. Two of them. Isn't that amazing? You'll see what to do. Stay away from anger. You will always see the right thing to do.
Oh, okay.
You really will.
Yeah. Can I ask one more question?
Yes.
It's kind of off topic. I'm just curious on like, what is your take about like natural hair like mine, like afros? What do
I
you
like
think
your
about it?
hair.
Oh, thank you.
Not really. No, I'm playing. Your hair look fine. It doesn't look all dry and nappy and like you got half dressed and then comb your hair before you left the house.
Oh, okay.
It look fine. It really does.
Okay, cool.
Really does. It look fine. All right?
Yeah.
So don't worry about it. Okay. Let me take James and then you have the last word and we got to get out of here. Oh, I have a new biblical question. Isn't this amazing? Look, once you wake up, I'm a witness to this. Once you overcome that anger, life unfolds for you. There's nothing else to do. Satan is holding you down, and God will set you free. Your life will just open up. And you'll find yourself dealing with things like you never dealt with before. You never worry about anything. It'll just open up for you. There's nothing else to do. Once you forgive, you're back with the Father, and He will take care of you. All that mess you're into will disappear. Really, it will disappear. Of ourselves, we can do nothing. And we know nothing. Yes, Dave.
Okay, a couple of comments. On one super chat from Bruce Leroy, he asks, how can I get
Thank
my
you,
wife...
Bruce Leroy. He must be like real black, huh? You got both black names. No, I ain't gonna tell you that. Okay.
He asks, how can I get my wife to listen to church?
By not forcing her to do it. Just be an example and point the right way, but don't force her to do it. You can't make someone love you. And so if you forcing it on her, she's not realize she need it. She need to wake up. So let her suffer. You be a good example and don't try to force it.
And then a lot of people are I hope I'm not stealing your thunder, but a lot of people are wishing you a happy 31 years anniversary to Bond.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's amazing. Thank y'all. Today is Bond's 31st anniversary. I forgot to mention that. We've been around 31 years. Isn't that amazing? That's like mind blowing. It feels like one day. It doesn't seem like 31 years at all. And I want you all to know this. When I started Bond, I had no idea what I was doing. I did not grow up thinking one day I'm going to start a nonprofit organization. I'm going to have a radio show or write books or any of that. It was so far away from me. I had no idea. And I remember when we first started, I created a board, and on that board we had lawyers and stuff like that. And they were like, all right, Jesse, what's your 5-year plan? I'm like, I have no idea. I don't even know what tomorrow's plan is. I really had no plan. I still have no plan. God loves you, and He'll unfold your life. Whatever He has for you, it will come naturally. It really will. And then you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to stress out. You're not fighting over it. I want you to know He really loves you. He really, it's amazing. And He has a life already laid out for us. Don't look for your talent, it'll find you. Once you overcome that anger, your purpose in life will come forth. You'll find yourself doing it. Because if you look for it, you're not going to find it. You're going to pick the wrong thing every time. But if you let go, God will add it unto you. It'll be amazing. And so I want to thank all of you for this last 31 years for Bond. We are heard around the world now. I counsel with men and women in other countries. And I'm like, what the? And it's all the same. It's the same spirit, the same everything. It's either good or evil. Everybody go through the same type of problem with the same excuses and all of that. And I'm grateful for that. And I want you to know this because the world makes you think that you have to have a degree or that you have to be from a rich family or you have white privilege and all that mess. It ain't true. You have to love God. That's all it's required. Do the silent prayer. He will guide your path. It's just been amazing. So many amazing things has happened in my life that I've been through a lot too, but they both have worked for me so far because I don't have the hate. Really. Get over the hate and your life will be amazing. You'll be surprised what happens in your life. So I really appreciate all of you and thank you for celebrating the 31 years of Bond. I gave you the last word, yes. It doesn't feel like 31 years. It really doesn't. I got old while we were doing Bond. Because I started out at 38, I think. Isn't that something? And I didn't know I was getting old. And I still don't know it until I see pictures. I'm like, wow, I used to be young. I didn't know that. Okay. Yes, sir.
So congrats on 31 years. But you brought it up when you were telling the story at the grocery store about the masks. I just want to get your take, because I'm starting to get mask fatigue or whatever you want to call it. I made a hard stance about a week ago that I'm done with the mask.
Yeah.
And it's been 50-50, people yelling at me and then people just give me dirty looks and not saying anything. And I'm just want to get your take, what's the right thing to do with this mask craziness? Because I feel like there's something evil behind it. Because now they're saying 2 masks, some are saying 3 masks, and it's just I feel like there's an evilness at this point, and it's just a symbol of I don't know what, but it just feels like
It's like
the
they're
wrong
never
thing.
going to let us go.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's what happens when you let someone control you. They never want to let go.
Exactly.
Because it fulfills their ego, right? So if you go into a business and they require you to wear out, don't let Satan tell you, oh, you're here, rebel.
Okay.
Don't do it, right? Don't fall for that. Go in there, do your little business, and get out.
Okay.
All right? And as long as you're outside, I wouldn't wear it. I don't wear it.
Yeah.
I only put it on if I go to the bank or to the market or something like that. Other than that, I don't wear it.
All right.
But be careful because Satan tell you, oh, they're trying to make you wear a mask in the store.
I mean, it feels like that though.
Because
It's
you
like,
believe in the lies in your head.
Yeah, but even if, regardless,
They are doing it. You're right about
Yeah.
that. But the people in the store, they're in fear. They
Right.
believe the government, and so they're afraid of anybody that comes around with no mask.
Yeah. Well, that just
So
happened
that's
this
why
morning,
they're
so.
overreacting.
Yeah.
They're overreacting to it
Right.
because they are afraid.
And I know I have my option to just not go in the store if I really don't want to.
But if you have to, just
Yeah.
don't let Satan make you act out.
Okay.
Don't try to go off on someone just to be going off.
No, I don't
Or
do it to, like,
I know people who
provoke,
go
but
in the
yeah.
store without the mask
No, no,
just to
no.
go off on folks.
No. I get that's just obnoxious.
Anybody ever done
but-
that? You don't put on your mask, you're going to go in the store. I dare them to ask me.
No. That's just that. Yeah, that's
what?
like obnoxious. I know. I get what you mean with that. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not about that. But it's just because I just feel like it's just not right. This whole thing.
It is not.
Yeah.
It really is not right. But it is what it is. Don't wear it outside if you don't want to. But if you go into a business and they require you put it on. I remember once I didn't have a mask and I was going to the bank and they were waiting for me at the door. They're like, you got to put a mask on. I was like, I don't have one. No, you got to put it on. And I took my shirt off and put it around my nose. They're like, you can't go in the bank with no shirt. I was like, what the? And so the manager gave me a mask.
Okay.
They like me at the bank. Anyway, I done yelled at everybody over there.
You what?
I have yelled at everyone at the bank.
Oh, okay.
So they like me.
All right. It's just like, I mean, it's just tiring at this
Yeah,
point.
it is.
but,
It's-
you know.
That's why you guys got to run, and ladies got to run for government. Because we have the wrong people running our government. So we need God children running the government. And then all these crazy things would not be happening. Yeah. So get involved. School board and all that kind of stuff. All right. My brand new biblical question is, how many of you love God? Let me see the hand that love God. Ooh, all the haters love God. What the? The young lady, the Christian lady. You love God? My brand new biblical question.
Well, I mean, if I don't have love, maybe I don't love. Maybe I just
But you
feel
raise your
God's
hand. Don't
love.
change your mind.
I know.
What
I
the?
could have not raised my.
You
hand
said what
for
now?
loving God.
Do you raise your hand?
Yes, I did.
Oh,
I
okay.
did. But I knew as I was raising my hand that.
You knew you were lying. Raise your hand.
No, I knew that.
She like raise her hand. I love God. I'm lying.
I knew that you were tricking us. No, but maybe it's not like me. No, I know there's two ways you could look at it. Maybe it's not me like loving God. It's like me feeling God's love or something.
So do you love God?
What's the right thing to say?
That's what?
I've always expressed myself with those words. That's what I've always said, is that I love God.
So do you love God?
I don't know. Can I say I don't know?
Yeah, if you want to.
Okay, all right.
Just
I
don't
know.
lie.
I don't know.
No. The young man in
I
front of you
feel
wanna
love
answer.
from God, that's for sure.
I'm
I
sorry,
feel
so-
I feel love from God.
Right on.
That's for sure.
Do you love God?
I want to say yes.
You want to say it, but you won't.
Well, like you were saying earlier, I don't like. Do we have love?
This is why y'all got to get to know yourself, all right? Really, know thyself, and you'll see the answer to that. You really will. But the biblical question is, how do you love God? That's the biblical question. Yeah, I just wanted to see the hands who said they do love Him. But the biblical question is, how do you love God?
Well, we can't serve
Well, really, I wrote, how do we love God? How do you love God?
I mean, the Bible says you can't serve two masters, so it would be to love nothing else in the world, to make nothing else your God.
And how do you do that?
Just have no attachment to it. I guess don't feel any sort
Isn't
of
this an
passion to it.
amazing question? Chris, well, just think about it for a week. Chris want to have a word on it, and Joel got the final word. We got to get up. Oh, you had your? Okay. Chris. Yeah. Chris, everybody know Chris? He white.
Hello.
My social media guy. I can't wait to hear this. How do we love God?
I don't. There's no how.
You don't love God?
No.
Oh, you don't love God?
No.
Oh.
It's impossible.
You fired. I didn't know we had an atheist.
Fired for telling the truth.
Yeah, that's right. Joel, how do you love God? How do we love God?
I think I got a smoke on it still. Yeah.
Go ahead.
For a lie.
Oh, okay. Anybody one other response to that? Let me let the visitor do it first time, because she going back home tonight, and she ain't never coming back. Her daughter is never going to let her come back. How do we love God?
We love God by keeping his commandments.
Keeping his commandment. Interesting. Okay. I thought someone would say that too, because I do remember reading the Bible. God said, if you love me, you'll keep my commandments. Mm-hmm. But there's a how to. It is so amazing. I just discovered this too. I'm like, what the? It's deep. Ernest, how do we love God?
So I think I had to smoke on it, but my first
everybody pothead.
First inclination.
Oh, this smoking. No wonder you don't know.
My first inclination is by putting him first in all things.
Putting him first?
In all things, yeah.
Oh, okay. The young man in the back, and then I'm done, y'all. Oh, yes. This is your first time here?
Yes.
Oh, welcome, man.
Hi. This is my first time. I brought my wife and my 3 sons.
Oh, you did? Right on.
I think the way you love God is by your actions, by what you do. So like when you learn that you need to go and forgive, that you actually go and do it, that you don't just sit back and think about it. And same thing with anything else, that if you love God, then you'll do it. You'll do the thing.
But you can't do the right thing on your own.
No, you can't. So yeah, so like when you take that action, you forgive, then you receive that love from God, that forgiveness, and as you keep on going, it's just like if it's like if there's an apple tree and you go and you pick that apple, you wanna eat an apple. You don't just sit back and think about it. You go and do it. And same thing as if God is putting something in your heart or God's causing you to do something, you go and you do it. That you perform
Amazing.
it. That's
Are
how
you
show
from
it.
LA?
No, I'm from Redlands. Well, I'm from Pasadena, but we came from Redlands.
Right on.
Yeah.
Welcome, man.
Yeah.
Is this your wife over there? Who was that?
Yeah.
Over there?
If she's black with 2 kids.
Oh, no, Marlene. Oh, she.
I see a white lady over there. I'm like, that's not my wife.
Okay, I couldn't see it because of the lights in my
okay.
eye. Well, thank you for coming down, man. I appreciate that. I gotta close right now. I'm almost over. Don't forget to donate to Bond, and thank you for celebrating 31 years of Bond. We're working on a way to have our men's conference this June. We'll let you know about August. We'll let you know about that when it's all confirmed. Is there a meeting this week, Ernest? The Women's Forum. Oh, Ladies Forum this Thursday. Right on. It's for ladies only at 7 p.m. All right? And appreciate you all. Do the silent prayer. Get to know yourself. Oh, it's amazing what you're going to find out. Know thyself, and don't worry about what other people think about it. Get to know yourself. You'll be fine. Do the silent prayer. Women's Forum this Thursday night at 7 p.m. for ladies only. All right? Thank you all. Thank you all so much. Thank you all for coming.